The Jak 4 conspiracy started way back when developer Naughty Dog was working on the game Jak 2. After realizing how big this story was, they realized they had to ditch the series before the games got too amazing for the time and the hardware. That's why Jak 3's storyline was confusing and kinda bad, to even out the terrific story for Jak 2 and how great the gameplay was for Jak 3. After the growing success of the Jak series after the third installment, they decided to make a shitty spin-off game in order to lower the hype of the series. Unfortunately for them, that blew up in their face due to Jak X being the most epic spin-off ever. That's when they got desperate. They knew how big the games were and how much potential they had, so they decided to split into two teams to work on their next big AAA PS3 title, Uncharted, in order to throw off the scent of the Jak series. Meanwhile, however, unknown to the public at the time, the other team were working on the next Jak game that would, hopefully for them, make Jak and Daxter be an afterthought in the minds of the public by making Jak and Daxter The Lost Frontier for the PSP. However, in order to create their new series on the PS3 to distract the public from Jak and Daxter, Naughty Dog needed the whole team on board to figure out how to work with the PS3 properly and the best they could. This was an unexpected bump in the road for Naughty Dog, so they left The Lost Frontier for a while, but then thought it was a good idea to outsource the game to another developer, and after seeing how good Daxter was on the PSP, they knew they couldn't give it to Ready at Dawn Studios, so they had to get someone else to make the game. They eventually decided to send off the game to High Impact Games, who made the shitty Jak and Daxter The Lost Frontier. At this point in time, Naughty Dog was renowned for being one of the best video game developers in the world due to the success of Uncharted 2. This was all part of their plan, to make a new, highly popular series to make everyone forget about Jak and Daxter, but they hadn't forgotten. They were waiting for the right moment to make their next move. That time came after the success of Uncharted 2. The team split into two teams again. One team to make the next Uncharted game, and one team to make the long-awaited Jak and Daxter game. However, things didn't go according to plan for the second team. They felt like they couldn't make a new game, and they felt like they couldn't do the series justice, and produced all of the artwork for the cancelled Jak 4 game. However, for the higher-ups at Naughty Dog, this was part of the plan. They purposely put the underqualified people on the second team. They knew they would fail. They knew they would scrap Jak 4 and make The Last of Us. Naughty Dog also strategically released the cancelled Jak 4 artwork to the public, not to generate hype, but as a reminder that Jak and Daxter is still a thing. Jak and Daxter are still available, and that it's entirely possible to release a new game. Releasing their artwork was just to plant the seeds in the minds of the public that Jak and Daxter can possibly return, because at this point, the fans were already demanding a new Jak and Daxter game after the flop of The Lost Frontier. Naughty Dog was in complete control. Still split into two teams, they went on to produce Uncharted 3 while the other team worked on The Last of Us, but Naughty Dog hadn't done their teasing for the Jak and Daxter series yet. In late 2011, they had announced they were working on the Jak and Daxter HD collection for the PS3. After that released in February 2012, and generating a good number of sales, Naughty Dog were ready to full throttle on The Last of Us. After this game was released the next year in 2013 on the PS3, it had been deemed as one of the greatest games of all time, and really made Naughty Dog a recognized video game developer, all according to plan. They went ahead to generate even more hype for the Jak and Daxter series by planting a whole heap of Jak and Daxter references in The Last of Us. This made fans want Jak 4 even more, and it went on to spawn a whole heap of YouTube channels in the process. But after the PS4 was released, the question was, what has Naughty Dog got in store for us? There was only three possible answers to this question. It was either a new Jak and Daxter game, A Last of Us 2, or it was Uncharted 4. Then they revealed at E3 2014 that they were indeed working on the next installment for the Uncharted series. From the time period of when they released the Uncharted 4 trailer and when the game actually released, not much Jak and Daxter was cited from Naughty Dog. However, in almost every interview with Naughty Dog's employees for the past 5 or 6 years, whenever Jak and Daxter was brought up, they would immediately deny they were making a new game and always referred back to when they failed at making the game for a quick answer and to cover up, and claiming that they would never go back to the cartoony style of the Jak games to also throw everyone off. However, due to the recent Uncharted 4 having a playable Crash Bandicoot level in it, fans were getting hyped that maybe Naughty Dog or Sony has the rights back to Crash, and was only confirmed at this year's E3 with the announcement for the Crash Trilogy remake. This has made fans of Jak and Daxter speculate that after the Crash Bandicoot remake, Jak and Daxter will be next. And also, a fairly recent Twitter post by a member at Naughty Dog was asking for people to help work on a new game with a distinct art style and would be different for anything that Naughty Dog has done recently, claiming that this new game would be an emotional third-person action-adventure game. Fans are speculating that this new game is either a new Last of Us or the game that we have all been waiting for, Jak 4. And that may very well be the case. However, just as in the past, there has been no predicting Naughty Dog, and we will never know what's going through their heads. However, all we know is that Jak and Daxter is bound for a release in the next few years. Again, only time will tell. Jak and Daxter is in a better spot now more than ever. Retro sort of games are making a return, and platformers are in a sense coming back with the Ratchet & Clank and Crash Bandicoot remakes. Now all we need is Spyro, Sly, and Jak to make a return, and we will have all of the PlayStation platforming legends back from the past and better than ever. Thanks for watching.